Father God, thank you for another opportunity to speak to your people. And I pray that the words of my mouth and the meditations of your heart will be acceptable, I pray, for Christ's sake. Okay. I think we're going to do now what most of you came for. We're going to talk about money. But now is a good time to talk about money because now we could put it in context. If we had spoken about it first thing this morning, you would think that money is the thing, right? But all money is a tool, and we need to manage it wisely. Anybody could tell me why we need to manage it wisely? Because what? Because the love of money is the root of your evil. What's another one? It's to use to advance God's kingdom. I'm looking for something. Don't waste resources. It comes easy and it's easy to go. Why we have to manage it wisely? Because we are stewards. Yes. I am not the owner. I am the manager. It's not ours to manage how we want. It's God's money, right? And that's why we could talk about it now, because we could talk about it in context, right? This morning we learned that Adam was a representative, Jesus was a representative. We learned that we're saved by grace through faith, not of works. We learned a while ago that the things that matters most must never be what? The things that matters most must never be at the what? Must never be at the mercies of the things that matters least. And we learned that I'm not the manager, I am just the owner. So we are just stewards. And that's the biggest reason why we should manage it wisely, because it's not ours. And we said this morning some things about a steward. A steward has to be accountable. We said that, right? We said that a steward has to have integrity. And we said that a steward has to be honest, right? Yes. So that's why we have to manage God's money well. So what is your dream? What are your dreams? What are your dreams? What are your dreams? Is it a house? What are your dreams? Is it a nice car? What are your dreams? Is it education? What are your dreams? Is it travel? Failing to plan, right? Is planning to fail. We can't accomplish any of those dreams if we fail to plan. How money turns dreams into reality? Dreams don't fail because people don't want them. They fail because money is not managed intentionally. And this morning, I was telling Mr. Weaver yesterday, I was telling him that God has given all of us something to make us wealthy. We need to find it. Everybody has something that if we use, we could become wealthy, because God wants us to be wealthy. As I look in the Bible, I look at Job, rich man, right? I look at Solomon, rich man. I look at David, rich man. Huh? Hezekiah, rich man. Abraham, rich man. Jacob, rich man. All the people that they said that was after God's heart, rich man. Right? What happened to us? Okay? Okay, so money is not the goal, right? Money is not the goal. It's a tool. But some of us chase it and make it the goal. It's not the goal, it's a tool. And this is one of my favorite quotes. Let's read it together. Oh, money, money, money. I am not one of those who think thee holy, but I often stop to wonder how thou canst go out so quickly when thou comest in so slowly. If my outflow is more than my inflow, then my upkeep becomes my downfall. Okay, we'll look at 4 areas we want to cover this afternoon. One is budgeting. Tell money where to go. The second one is spending. Control daily leaks. The next one is saving. Building future security. And the last one is debt. Speeding it up. Anybody wants to speed up debt? Yes, we could speed it up. The first one we want to start with is the budget. Okay. So we start our big budget with giving, right? Then we have saving, house, food, child, transportation, personal, right? That's our budget. But we don't want you to do any type of budget. We want you to do something I call an assignment budget. An assignment budget. The assignment budget is a plan in which you assign every dollar to a specific task. In that plan, each dollar of your income is accounted for, acknowledged, and told exactly where to go. Why you have to tell it where to go? Because if you don't tell your money where to go, they will go where they want. And that's why we do an assignment budget. And we say that the assignment budget, income minus expenses equals 0, right? Some people do surplus budgets, but we don't recommend it. We want your end to be 0. Why? We don't want any money floating around, because if you don't tell it where to go, you will wonder where it went. So we account for all. If when you do it, they have some more, you decide if you put more for saving, more for giving. You didn't put any for entertainment, so you put some for entertainment. But you must tell every dollar where to go. Other than that, you will wonder where it went. The other thing about your budget, it should become your vision board. You know what that means? Some people have a board where they have all the places they want to go and all the things they want to go. There's something about visualization that we still don't understand, but when we visualize it, we make it happen. So, why is it your vision board? Because you put things inside there that you don't have money for yet. You don't have no money for education, but you put education and you put a $5, right? So that every time you're doing the budget and you put education $5 or $10 or $20, right away it does something in your mind. And you'll find that you will spend your money because it keeps in front of you. You want to travel, you don't know where the money is going to come yet, but you find a $5. So your budget also becomes your vision board. You put things inside there that you don't have the money for yet, but you want to keep it at the forefront of your mind. How to take care of the pennies. Walk instead of taking the bus. I saw somebody walking from Castries to the Mon, that's a couple miles, right? They're saving a few dollars, but guess what? They go to school to work with their walking shoes, right? So they're saving a few dollars and they're exercising. Why take the bus home and then go and walk, right? So they save money there. Take the bus. The next one, take lunch to work. And we're working it out the other day, and we're realizing, I don't know how much for our food in Antigua. Huh? 20? Okay, let's say $20 and you buy food every day? 20 by 20, that's $400. That's a lot of money. So say you have to buy it some days, and you buy 10 days, and you bring a sandwich 10 days, right? And you cook when you get home, that is $200 savings. There's a saying that if you take care of the pennies, what? The pounds will take care of itself. So take lunch to work. Install a water filter, right? So take water to work. How much for a bottle of water? How much? $3? Average, $3. $3, you buy one a week, one a day. How much? Let's say $3. Let's say $3. $3, right? By 5, that's $15 a week, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, $15 by $10, that's $150, right? By 10 days. You say you don't drink water. Some days, huh? Yes. 3 by 5, 15. So that's $60. Okay, let's say $60 a month, right? Right. So that's $260. And I'll show you in a little while what could happen with that $260. Okay, so we're saying take your water. Fix leaking taps. Just letting a tap go tap, 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 tap could save you gallons, could have you pay for gallons of water. Cancel your cable subscription. And it's a long time now I don't have, Okay. Cancel your cable subscription. If you're looking for saving, there are some things you could do, and some things you could do permanently, and some things you could do temporarily until you get over. But you need to do things, you need to manipulate things so that you could get through. Eat leftovers. I like leftovers. The best tasting soup is leftover soup, right? The other thing I like is stale bakes. It tastes better when it's stale. And here's my favorite one. Never spend money. Let's read it together. Never spend money you don't have on things you don't need to keep up with the people you don't like. Other ways you could save money, right? Avoid or delay credit purchases. Mr. Weaver taught me that one. He told me any large decision, financial decision, sleep on it. Sleep on it, right? Avoid higher purchase. I don't know for here, but at Courts in St. Lucia, it's 22% interest. Avoid higher purchase. I say there are some things you could buy on higher purchase and some things you shouldn't. Your fridge top, you could buy if you don't have no other way. Your washing machine, you could buy, right? Sofas could wait, right? Yes. Some things could wait. Small decisions make big results. Small decisions make big results. Money freedom is really about big sacrifices. It's about small decisions repeated constantly. Making the sacrifice of bringing food to work. Making the sacrifice of buying water. Small decisions, big results. One of the things we save, you save when? When do you save? You save after giving. Most people save what is left. But what I have found out is what is left is always enough. Because, say for example, you make a salary deduction. You make what they give you do. Right? So if you don't have the discipline to save, make a salary deduction. But saving is important. Saving is important. I say if you don't save, it is like a farmer eating all his corn seed. Let me say it again. If you don't save, it's like a farmer eating all his corn seed. Why savings come before investing? So saving comes right after giving, because what is left, we will make it work. Saving gives you margins. Margin gives you choices. Without saving, every emergency becomes a debt. The car breakdown, you have to go by the credit union, and somewhere people go these days, it's called what? Payday loans. Right? You go and get a payday loan. So we say make saving a habit. Make savings a habit. In the beginning, it's not so much the amount, but the habit. And you'll be surprised. You start saving a little $50, I'll show you in a little while. In a little while, you're surprised. $500 on the account, you know? I say is a St. Lucian thing. Now listen to what Sister White says. Sister White says more poor families are poor. Many poor families are poor because they spend their money as soon as they receive it. Right? And you could find that in the book on stewardship. Let's look at saving $50 a month. If we save $50 a month, I don't know what interest rates are, right? $50 a month in 5 years, let's say at 3%, you have $3,281. In 15 years, you have $11,494. How much you saving? $50 a month. Start where you can, but start. $50 a month in 15 years. I was doing that presentation somewhere, and somebody said, Elder Jean-François, I should have started 15 years ago. But they tell me the best 2 times to plant a tree is 15 years ago and today. The best time to start saving is 15 years ago and Monday, right? Start saving. So let's say we save $100. At 3% in 15 years, we'll have $23,000. Let's say we save $200. In 15 years, we'll have $45,000, $46,000. Start saving. If you can't do 50, start with 20. Start saving. If you can't save enough, I had a young boy at my church. All he got was a bottle, right? And he started putting every dollar coin that he gets inside there. And at the end of the year, he was surprised how much he was able to take to the bank. Almost $200. Just 100 coins that he find in his pocket, he would put it inside there. Okay, so let's say you wanted to buy a car. And it's not an expensive car, it's $20,000. Let's say you go to the credit union, 12%, you're paying $525. You would end up with 48 months, right? But if you had saved $5,000, you'd only borrow $15,000, you could finish in 34 months. If you had done $10,000, if you had saved $10,000, you'd finish in 21 months. And the savings, next slide, let's see if we could see what the savings would be. You will pay, if you have a deposit for any loan, you will save a lot more. Let us look at this one. This one is incredible. Ben and Arthur. Ben started saving at 19 years, right? He was saving $20,000 a month. He was saving $2,000 a year, right? And in 26 years, after 26 years, Ben got sick, right? And he left the money in the bank. By age 65, we use 12% for the interest rate. At 65, he had $2 million in the year. We just want what we're teaching is the principle. Don't worry about the interest rate. $2,000 a year. He started at 19. Arthur didn't start. When he got to 27, his wife said, Arthur, what you doing with your life? You need to start saving. So he started at 27, and at 65, he only had 1.5. Ben got sick at 27. He couldn't save anymore, but he still had more than Arthur. The principle we're teaching is start early. For the younger ones, start early. One of the things we want to teach you is that the bankers are not your friend, right? You go to the bank and they tell you, I will give you 30 years. And some people say, wow, they like me. They give me 30 years. The bankers are not your friend. Arthur went to borrow $100,000. Ben went to borrow $100,000. Interest was 12%. Ben was 11.5. The term was 30 years. Because he borrowed, they were paying the same amount. He finished, Ben, because he got 0.5% more, he was able to finish 7 years, 6.5 years before Arthur. What we're teaching is negotiate. Even 0.5% could save you a lot of money. Okay, so what this slide shows is if you are able to make an extra principal payment, if you are able to make an extra principal payment, you will save a whole month of interest. If you are unable to make an extra principal payment, so he was paying $92.20, right? His interest was $83.33 because in the beginning you pay more interest. The principal was $87.87. Right, to make up the $922. The next month, the next payment, The principle in this one is make an extra principal payment on the principal. You have to negotiate that at the front, right? So up front. The banks allow it. If you negotiate it up front, the credit unions don't have a problem with it. Yes. And the other thing is that you need to shop around. Not because you've banked with one bank all your life, that is the place to go borrow. The next thing we need to do is to pay more than the minimum. And if we could pay more than the minimum, the first thing we have to do is to list our debts. List all your debts. So we're saying that we need to, simple debt strategy. We could list all the debt, pay minimums on everything, attack the smallest or shortest debt. And the first thing we'd have to do is to list all the debts, right? So let's list all the debts. We have an example here. So we had all those loans. So what we will list them is from smallest. We'll start with the smallest one. Which is the smallest one? Huh? The credit card is how much? Credit card is $2,000. But we will not use the smallest one. We will use the one we have the least time to pay. Because what we want to do is to have that psychological bind. We want to finish one for us to be able to say, yes, that one is down. So we will start with COTS because we only have 15 more months to pay. We'll hold on the credit card because we have 20 more months to pay. We want to get small victories, right? So we start with COTS. And then the loan is 40 months, the mortgage is 100 months. So what we're going to do is we're going to find an extra $100. How much are we going to find? $100. And where could we find that? Where could we find an extra $100? Huh? From the budget, we could start bringing lunch to work. How much we say we could save there? $200. Huh? Or we could find a side job. So if we're going to pay an extra $10, if we get an extra $100, we put it on the COTS. So instead of paying COTS, how much we were paying COTS before? $300, right? We're paying COTS how much? $200. So now we'll pay COTS how much? $300, right? And we have, right away, we have, once we pay COTS $300, right away, then instead of 15 months, how many months we have? 10 months. So in 10 months, we'll finish COTS, right? Okay. So we're saying that you pay more than the minimum. And so you pay an extra $100, you finish COTS, then you take what you were paying at COTS and you put it on the credit card. You take what you were paying on the credit card when you finish paying the credit card, you put it on the next loan. So by the time you finish paying the credit card, instead of paying $250 on the loan, you'll be paying $650. When you finish paying the credit card, you'll have $650 to add to the car loan. That would make $1,100. And then you take that $1,100 and you put it on the mortgage. So in no time, you are finished. But it will call for discipline, it will call for sacrifice. You need to find a little more, and then you work it that way. I must tell you that it works, and it works, but it calls for a little bit of discipline. And it might not be, the amount doesn't matter. What we're talking about is the principle. If it's $300 you're in debt with, find a way to accelerate it. I wrote a book on money management. It's called 7 Secrets to Debt Elimination. It's on Amazon. I've just dropped the price of the Kindle version to $1.92 because I want everybody to be able to afford one. So the Kindle price is $1.92, right? And I'm not sure what the price of the book is. But go find it. It has all of that inside. It is called 7 Secrets to Debt Elimination. I have another book there that that talks on grace. It's called 7 Secrets of Abiding. Right? So you could get that one while you're there as well. 7 Secrets of Abiding. It's the story of grace. Okay. So we're saying pay more than the minimum to attack debt, find additional money for debt repayment, sell assets. We have a lot of things around our house that we don't use, right? Have a yard sale, sell it, and put that to debt. Okay? Sell asset, increase income via part-time jobs, free up cash from daily spending. Then pay more than the minimum. Free up money from daily spending, saving on groceries, clothing, entertainment, transportation, insurance, miscellaneous small expenditure. Improve your financial situation. Improving your financial situation is an investment in your future. It is risk-free investment. And there's your homework for this week. Make a budget. Cancel one expense. Start saving $25 minimum and add $50 to a debt payment. I want to tell you, by God's grace, you can do it. Congratulations. The end. Thank you.